Go back on air. All right, cool. And welcome back to the METASCIENCE Ministries Reason and Fellowship Show via Omega FM Radio.co.uk, aka 4.1 FM. This is the High Priest, Grand Hierophant of METASCIENCE Ministries. Amun you done know METASCIENCE. Now, yeah, thank you for your patience. We just had a different delay in YouTube and that. Just moving a bit mad still, but we got it working. So if you want to check out High Priest Amun on YouTube, all you have to do is go on to YouTube, type in on YouTube Amun L, which is spelled Amun as in A for Africa, M for magnificent, U for upliftment, A for upliftment, M for magnificent, M for newbie, AMUN space EL, which is spelled E for El Elyon and L for love. And you will find High Priest Amun L's YouTube channel. Smash a like, click subscribe, follow High Priest Amun L. Anyway, so now let's get into it now. So okay. So let's start off with the METASCIENCE news. That's the first thing. Let's see. Okay, it's working. Everything's working. Okay. Let's start off with the news. So tomorrow, the first news is High Priest Amun L is going on holiday. Okay. He's going on holiday. He's going to Sudan. And he won't be here next week. Be back the following week on the 23rd of November. So you'll miss High Priest Amun L for 1 week. But he'll be back. He's going to Sudan because this weather is very bad. It's terrible. Everything's terrible in UK at the moment. It's just terrible, man. Living here, it's just annoying. Like it's just cold. It's just bad people, bad energy, bad vibes, bad everything. So High Priest Amun L is going to go to Sudan, be in the burning hot, blazing heat, like 30, 40 degrees, easy. So we're not going to be back. So that's the first news. The second news, there's tube strikes tomorrow in London, possibly all the way up until Friday afternoon. So that's even peak for High Priest Amun L right now. High Priest Amun L is thinking, how is he going to get on that plane on Friday? Because he was thinking to take the Piccadilly line all the way to Heathrow Airport. But it looks like that's not happening. Man have to just drive there and that. And even then, now we come to the third part of the news. Man are saying Nottingham Forest are beating Tottenham, bruv. Tottenham on a joke thing. You men are on a joke thing, bruv. If I put on this oozing expressions, you're just gonna be on some mazza. Like, how can we be losing to Nottingham Forest, man? That's dead, man. We're dead food, bruv. Some dead food. Anyway, the third thing is we've got these protesters, these just oil jerks that are blocking the M25. Like all these major junctions, especially Heathrow, like basically all the main junctions, like Heathrow, Luton, Essex, Stansted, Croydon, Gatwick, Dartford. These MFs or these jerks are just like blocking the M25, causing chaos and confusion in London. You get me? And it's like, bruv, like you man don't even care about chemtrails and that. You man don't care about this oil business, yeah? Where you're saying climate change and all of that. You man are just brainwashed. You get me? Like you man are brainwashed, man. You don't have you're brainwashed and you have no life. You get me? Like you're just some bums on the street yeah, that got paid by some like MFs or jerks like what's his name, George Soros, yeah, and like all these big people that are like running things on in the shadows, yeah, like have hidden agendas and trying to mash up the planet, yeah, and you are just like the foot soldiers, you're on the battlefield, yeah, that are helping them and whatnot. You know what I mean? And it's not good because even I spoke to Lady M and I was like, Lady M, I pre someone else doesn't like this, you know. All these guys mashing up the thing. Lady M's like, yeah. It's a good reason they're doing that. Yeah, with this one. I'm like, listen, it's just because it's not affected you. That's why you're saying all of that. Because once they block your road, when you need to go home and you can't go home because they've blocked you, they've glued their hands to the road, or they just done some mental stuff on the road, that's when you're gonna feel it. You get me? But then you know I'm talking about you, lady, and that's why you're on the Instagram. Anyway, we're moving on from that. So, is there any other news? Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to go into the main event before the news because we just got about 6 minutes left. I think there's other news. Oh yeah, the NHS, they're saying they're going on strike in December or whatnot. And once the NHS goes on strike, then you know it's peak. Like this is not no good time we're living in. Like for real. Like this is some dead times we're living in right now. NHS is going on strike, you know, saying that they don't care about the people them, that they want their money and that. Like they get me car. NHS, when you work for NHS, you're supposed to be caring about the people. You get me? It's a vocation. You're not doing the job because like you just want to get paid. You're doing the job because you care, you want to help society. And they're saying they've had enough. That they've been like all through the pandemic, everything, what they're going through. They're saying enough is enough. That's what they're saying, enough is enough, and they're gonna go on strike and that. You get me? And I'm just like, bruv, it's time to cut. It's time to cut, you know. Anyway, apparently we're looking to build a town in Gambia. Got an update today. And I mean, I hear it. I hear the inspiration, the ambition and that. Get me? But it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work still. You get me? Like a town is not easy. I'm thinking, bruv, like a town, you know. A town, like we're not talking about London. Yeah, that's a city. We're talking about like, let's say, to build Shepherd's Bush, or to build Houston, or to build Wembley. You get me? Those are towns. Or to build Kentish Town, Camden Town, something like Croydon. You get me? Something like that. You know what I mean? That's what the man them and the females are planning to do in Gambia. And I'm like, bruv, listen, to build a town, like, you see Battersea Power Station. You see that project that they did, yeah, in Battersea Power Station, and now it's fully done, yeah, by Vauxhall, that 9 Elms, they developed that. You know how long that took? That took 30 years, you know, 30 years to build that. You get me? 30 years to build that 9 Elms Battersea Power Station ends. In London, you know, London, where it's patterned, like you got electricity, water, and ground. Now, I'm not saying that the thing can't be built in Gambia. I'm not saying it can't be built. You got to be serious with this thing, bruv. Like, this ain't no joke thing. Like, if you're going there, you better do it. You got to make it happen because people are anticipating. You know what I mean? Like, people, like, you don't want to break people's dream, you know, and say you're going to do this and you're not doing it. You get me? And already, like, bruv, to build is not easy, you know. You get me? Like, man is in the construction, you know. High priest, someone else, a Gary. He's a Gary. He's a builder. He knows the stress and pressure what's involved, bruv. Because it's all about meeting the deadlines and that. and about getting, and nothing's perfect, nothing is ideal on construction. Anything can happen. Construction is dangerous in that. Get me? Brothers and sisters can be dying. Hey, Kaz, hope you're all right. Hope you're good. Yeah, man. Man's just there. Anyway, so we got about 2 minutes left. Okay, 2 minutes left. And yeah, we're going to get into the main event after the news and views. So stick around. Also, don't forget, Revolution, the mixtape is out now on hard copy and digital download as well. All you have to do is go onto the website, metascienceministries.co.uk, and you will see the mixtape on the website, and you can buy it. We're in the currently we're processing the music video or the movie. Nah, it's more time. It's going to be a music video still. I don't see it being a movie. I wanted a movie, but the guy was like, no, I'm going to do something else. But I'm like, bro. But anyway, it makes sense. I don't even know. It makes sense because, like what we said, what happened the other day, and we're going to get into it on after news and views. It's just disappointing, bro. It's disappointing, you know. You get me? Like, it's disappointing, but I don't think you get me. Anyway, it's looking peak, man. Now, when it's time for this realness to talk, no one wants to really get involved because everybody's kind of shook when it's time to talk the realness. But anyway, so we're going to be back, yeah, after the news and views. Make sure to check out metascienceministries.co.uk so you can purchase the mixtape, support High Priest Someone Else, because High Priest Someone Else supports you. And remember, High Priest Someone Else going on holiday next week, or not next week, on Friday, and we won't be back until the 22nd of November. Metal Science.
Media Radio, 104.1 FM. News and views around your community.
This is the radio.co.uk news.
So we're off air.
9. Strikes by thousands of nurses. Plan the next few months will see days when some
Yeah, so we're off air, as you can hear. We've got the NHS on the strike thing, strike business going on. Then you've got
nursing members supposed to walk out because they say pay rises on offer don't keep up with the jump in the cost of living.
oh my days. Yeah, so we're going off air. We're gonna talk some stuff. Man is tired, you know. I don't want to go to bed. Like for real, I just want to go to bed. But yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Check out the mixtape.
From the illegally annexed southern city of Kherson, with the defense minister in Moscow deciding it's become impossible to get supplies in.
So we got a nice CD.
At the king while he was on a visit in York. None of them hit the monarch or the Queen Consort who was alongside him.
Revolution CD. So you know it's official. You know it's the real thing. You get me? It's not just man burnt the CD and saying purchase the thing, bruv. Man said it's all packaged well. All of that, bruv. The next level, obviously, is to make the LPs and the vinyls. But that one is like, man, them have to pre-order that. If you want the vinyl thing, though, you have to pre-order that. Then, when I know man, them are serious about it. If I get at least 100 people that are ready to buy that, then yeah, they will start making vinyls and that. So,
after reportedly agreeing to take over as manager at St. Mary's.
yeah.
In the Scottish Premiership, it's goalless between Motherwell and leaders Celtic. That's the latest.
Yeah. So let's switch it up now. Let's play our music. So is there any questions anybody want to ask me? Or are we just waiting until we go back on air? Any questions? Sorry. Mandy's daughter, shout out to you. So let's check Instagram, what's going on. Okay. It's Pete, man. So nothing's really happening on Facebook, on Instagram and that. Oh my days, bro. We're getting mashed up, man. Tottenham are getting mashed up still. It's not healthy, man. Against some dead club, bro. How can we keep getting mashed up by a dead club? Sorry, that's rude. Shouldn't be yawning. Hi, Tash, you alright? We're just off air at the moment, but we're gonna get into it soon because you know what I mean. I've had enough of this shit, man. I've had enough, man. But I can't be asked anymore for this stuff. I'm tired. I'm tired of this nonsense thing, bro. When I'm in Africa and that, and this freedom thing, you will die. Ain't no joke thing. This ain't no game. Ain't no game. I said we still got another 5 minutes to go, you know. The men are making that peas, bro. They're making that bread. Wow, that's expensive. £33, bro. For the final thing. Yeah, it's looking like mad. Anyway, yeah, so like I said, like we've got about 5 minutes left. We'll get into it. But man's got a little job tomorrow, so it's good. Studios 4. Black Sabbath. Them men are dead. They're dead food still, that Black Sabbath. I thought it was Ozzy Osbourne in there and that. But it's none of that. Also, man took out my tooth yesterday. Bruv, my tooth was black. It looked nasty. Like, it was proper like discolored and that. Like, I wish I can show you guys how I was looking, but it was looking mad. It did not look nice. Yeah, Kaz, man, don't worry, man. Man's got that hard copy out there. You get me? Like, that's there next time when you come back. When I come back from, in November, you get me? Like, you can get it on the 22nd or something. I can't remember. I think I'm going, coming back 21st, 22nd, somewhere there. I'm falling off the chair, you know. Okay, still got 2 minutes, or get me, it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds or something left. We're going back on air, bro. This is all long, man. I just want to go home, bro. I'm tired, man. I want to sleep. I just want to get a drink. I want to get a nice, like, I don't even know. Like, back in the day, man, you know what my drink was? That Lucozade. That Lucozade was my drink. Rubicon was my drink. And now, those drinks are all dead. It tastes disgusting. Let's check what's going on the football side of things. See what our guy is saying. But is it peak or I think it's peak still. Let's see. Yeah, let's see this guy. It's Pete, bruv. I said 3-0 in that. It's Pete, bruv. They're taking the piss. I said 2-0, you know. 2-0, blood. 2-0. Tottenham losing 2-0 to Nottingham Forest, you know. Bruv. I said Spliff FC, you know. I said Arsenal are losing as well. It's Pete, bruv. It's a joke. I said Arsenal losing this Spurs trophy, you know. Them men are just, oh my days. They are dead food, man. Tottenham are just a dead food. They are that weed that you just can't even get high off of. Oh my days, Tottenham, man. How can we be losing to that stupid team, bro? Pete, bro. Anyway, let's turn this one off. See, you can't even talk because it's Pete. It's just dead, bro. We are a dead team, man.
But we must have a do or die attitude as we were as street warriors to rebuild our culture and to create a new lasting legacy, a legacy of peace.
Okay, and welcome back. Can you hear High Priest someone out? Can you hear him? Because he hopes he can hear you. Anyway. So, welcome back to the METASCIENCE Ministries Reasoning and Fellowship Show via OmegaFMRadio.co.uk, aka 104.1 FM, and also on YouTube Live and Instagram Live. You can see the High Priest someone live and direct in 4K vision on YouTube at OmegaFMRadio.co.uk's headquarters. All you have to do is go onto YouTube, type in the YouTube search engine Amun L, which is spelled Amun as in A for Africa, M for Magnificent, U for Upliftment, M for Nubian Space, L, which is spelled E for Elyon and L for Love. Also, the Instagram, you can see High Priest Amun L live and direct, and also follow High Priest Amun L and see some new footage in that. Type in high_priest_720 to see High Priest Amun L live and direct on the Instagram. Also, go and check out metascienceministries.co.uk for the new mixtape, the Revolution, the mixtape. As you can see it on Instagram Live and on YouTube Live, how it looks. And that proper things. Okay. Now, are you ready? Are you ready for the main event? On the METASCIENCE Ministries Reasoning and Fellowship Show. If you are ready for the main event, yeah? Give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the High Priest Amun L. And tonight, on the METASCIENCE Ministries Reasoning and Fellowship Show. Main event. We have to all the hundreds that are on YouTube Live and Instagram Live, and to the millions that are listening on omegafmradio.co.uk, aka 104.1 FM. Let's get ready for Meta Science tonight on the Meta Science Ministries Reasoning and Fellowship Show via omegafmradio.co.uk, aka 104.1 FM, and also YouTube Live and Instagram Live. The main event tonight is it worth, or is it does it make sense to be with the freedom fighters? You follow that? One more time for those that don't understand what was going on. Is it a waste of time protesting with the freedom fighters? Is it a waste of time protesting with the freedom fighters? Is the freedom fighters doo-doo? Okay? This is how High Priest has to break it down. Is being with the freedom fighters a waste of time, and you're better off going to the toilet and doing the doo-doo than being with the freedom fighters? You follow that? Now, High Priest, I thought you loved the freedom fighters. Listen. You see, High Priest someone else, yeah? High Priest someone else do or die for this freedom thing, you know. Man was a freedom fighter before the freedom fighters were on road, bruv. You get me? Like, that's just all part of like one's path and that. You get me? Or journey. Man was freedom fighting before it was cool. Man was freedom fighting when it was crazy. Man was freedom fighting when David Icke was looking as a mental health patient. You get me? That's how long man has been freedom fighting. When David Icke was seen as a mental health. You get me? Now David Icke is seen as a terrorist. You follow that? David Icke is not allowed in Europe right now. He's banned. He's blacklisted because they see him as a terrorist. And you know him, he does his job well. And he just be like, you see? Well, you get me? Like, he's just controversial. He loves the controversy. Anyway, so we are talking tonight. If the freedom fighters or any protest is a waste of time. 100% it's not a waste of time. Let's be real, okay? Because there's protests that have worked. For example, Sarah Everwood, yeah? When people were protesting when she was gone missing and the police did the mad thing, the screw with the policeman killed her and that, and probably did some mad thing to her. That guy went jail and he's doing some serious time in jail because of that protest and that public inquiry. You follow that? Another example is like Martin Luther King. When he was protesting about human rights and civil rights and all them kind of thing there with the white people, eventually it came. Eventually. The civil rights, black people not being second-class citizen, and all of that. Now, what else? What other protests as well? The George Floyd, the Black Lives Matter protest. Now, when George Floyd died by the police, like police brutality and gross misconduct from the police or gross negligence from the police, there was a global protest for Black Lives Matter. And eventually those policemen and women that did the crime went jail for George Floyd. So let's be real. Protesting does work. Yeah, let's not neglect it. Let's not cancel protesting. Protesting works. Okay? But now when it comes to the freedom fighters, and when they protest, like in the beginning, let's say, during lockdown, during pandemic times, when the freedom fighters were protesting and we were 1 million man strong or 10 million man strong, when the whole of central London was just busy. Oh, someone got a red card. Okay, Tottenham better do something. Right now it's 2-0 to Nottingham Forest. Peak, bruv, it's peak. Anyway, when those times, 2020, when the pandemic and the lockdown was at its peak, and we were surrounding the streets of London, when it was do or die, them times there, that's when the protest was effective. We're not going to say too much on the radio because we're going to get in trouble. And people will be like, oh, you can't say that. Even though no one really cares about that thing anymore. Like, we've moved on from that. You get me? Like, that's all. You get me? Like, there's bigger problems than that right now. Anyway, so, yeah, it was effective then. But now, like, the freedom fighting protests, okay? Like, you got to understand, like, man, them come out to that protest, you know, for man's mental health, you know. Man, them come out, man, them come to that protest just to meet people that are alike, but on the same frequency, same vibration, you get me, same speed, and all of that. And the problem is, the protesting now has become a joke thing. So last weekend, yeah, that's a story time now. It's METASCIENCE story time. Last weekend, on the 5th of November, it was supposed to be Guy Fawkes night on the 5th of November. Okay? Now, on the 5th of November, usually there is a anonymous protest in honor of Guy Fawkes for what he did on the 5th of November, trying to blow up Parliament. You see, that guy was a freedom fighter from the get-go. Guy Fawkes, he was freedom fighting before he even knew what freedom fighting was about. Yeah, he was on the smoke. He was ready to make a difference. He was ready to die a revolutionary. You follow that? Because he had enough with Parliament, and he was like, bun Parliament, bun the king, like, let's go back to Catholicism or whatever at the time. Shout out to everybody that's listening on Omega. Shout out to everybody on the Instagram. Shout out to everybody on the YouTube. So anyway, so annually there's an event on the 5th of November, especially with anonymous, to do with Parliament, where they do a mad thing in Westminster. Yeah, and where the Guy Fawkes mask, all of that nonsense. Okay? And apparently last year was turn up. It was lit. There was fireworks going off, all of this crazy stuff on the streets. Now, shout out to Dino. Now, on the 5th of November, I was anticipating. He was like, yeah, that it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be fun with the family, with the gang. That we're going to really mash up the streets and that. You get me? We've got the revolution tune that will give us some motivation. You get me? Like, all of that good stuff. Now, when the High Priest of Amun arrived at Westminster, the numbers was low. There was no more than 20 or 30 people that came through to Parliament Square. And remember, this event was broadcasted, promoted well all over social media. Everybody knew what was happening on the 5th of November. Everybody knew what's happening. You follow that? No one didn't know. Everybody was aware that there was a protest and something was going down, especially from last year. Okay? But there was about 30 people, at best 40. Okay, Tottenham scored a goal. Well done. But it's not good enough, bruv. You need to score at least 2 more goals to win the game, bruv. You see, it's even disallowed, bruv. It's just all mad. Anyway, what's the time? 21:23 or 22. Anyway, so we were there, yeah, about 30, 40 people strong. Then all of a sudden, like we saw the police, the TSG, Territorial Support Group Police. We thought they were onto us. Nah, mate, they weren't onto us. They weren't onto the freedom fighters. They were onto everybody else but the freedom fighters. They were more onto like the Iranian protests or the Persian protests for the women's human rights in Iran, because women are being brutalized and victimized by the police, by everybody, and they're saying enough is enough, and they're just protesting, and they were coming out strong, you know. They were strong in their protest. They were organized. Like, then you had like the Labour Party doing a protest against the Conservatives, the Social Party doing a protest. Like, bare different protests were going on. I think there was not a Black Lives Matter, but something racism or something to do something, I don't know. Then there was a next protest, like just bare different protests. And us, man, like I pre someone else always ready and prepared and that. Like I pre someone else had this speaker, big speaker mic. You had to put it in a suitcase because it was raining on the day. You see, that's what I'm saying. I pre someone else die hard, and the people that turned up would die hard as well. You get me? In the rain, weather was not good, bad weather and that. And I'm surprised no freedom fighters are in this live or on the YouTube and like countering or disagreeing with High Priest Amun L. Because when High Priest Amun L talks, you get me? It's not a thing that man is just talking for the sake of talking. I'm talking because we want to have a debate. I want people to prove man wrong. You get me? Like, this is just my theory. You get me? My hypothesis. And I'm giving you the breakdown and the analyzation and the results and the conclusion. And man, them are not challenging man to tell man, look, High Priest, yeah, I respect you in that, but you're wrong. You get me? You need to calm down and stop talking because you don't know the facts. But more time, High Priest Amun L is telling the facts, and that's it. It's non-negotiable, or you cannot. It's just absolute truth. That's what we're dealing with. Now, Kaz is saying, let's go. Man, I got a dead leg. Oh my days. Oh, my leg is dead. Kaz is saying it's not a waste of time protesting with the freedom fighters if they are all make the effort back. Look, listen, Kaz. Let's finish the story. Anyway, so we were there, and there was like no direction. Like everybody came to wear a silly mask of the politicians and that, like Rishi Sunak, Boris Johnson, all these stupid people. And it was a silent protest. Like protest is not supposed to be easy, you know. Like a protest, you're not supposed to make the policeman's job easy. Like the policeman's supposed to be stressed for protesting. You get me? So anyway, so this is around like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So the freedom fighters, about 30 of them, just went all different random places, Downing Street, Trafalgar Square, Oxford Street, Leicester Square, just everywhere in central London, and just wearing silly masks and that. And like it wasn't really effective. I'll be real, like what's a silly mask with banner, like with little picket signs saying certain things? Like, I don't think that's not die hard. That's not do or die. Like when I look at it, like I've given it time to digest. You get me? In my brain, in my belly, like dream about it. You get me? Go through my subconscious mind and all of that. Mate, why are you dissing for 30 people that made an effort? You should be calling out the people that didn't show up. This is what Sammy is saying, yeah? That man is dissing out the people and that. Listen, bro. Yeah. You know why? I'm not dissing them. I'm saying I'm telling the story, bruv. You get me? Man is telling you the story. That's what happened. Man ain't even come to the dissing part. You get me, man? I'm just saying this is what happened. And this is why the movement is going smaller and smaller and smaller. You get me? Like, it's not getting bigger, is it? Yeah, be real right now. Is the movement getting smaller? I mean, bigger or smaller? Anyway, if any man has got something to say, yeah, please come and say it right now. Yeah, call in 075 3996 8143. Call in. Okay? Call in, whatever. Anyway, yeah, okay, let's see what Kaz is saying. The numbers were ridiculously low, and when I mentioned it in all the groups, people even deny knowing about it. Well, you see, there you go. Someone's already back in High Priest. That's good. That's why I love Kaz. You don't know METASCIENCE. So anyway, so yeah, we're wearing city mask and that. We're running around London, yeah, just doing some mad thing. You get me? Like, not a silent protest. When High Priest someone I'll play this tune, Revolution, people are feeling threatened. Like, it's a silent protest. Like, if you're with us, yeah, don't play the music. I'm thinking, bruv, like, more time is just for social media. It's just a social media thing. It's not in for the ground. You get me? I don't really see like, okay, someone's calling. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, hold on. Let me plug you in. Hold on. Okay, they disconnected. Anyway, when you're ready, call back. Anyway, so peace. Yeah, Sam, that's you, yeah?
You're good, bro, yeah?
Yeah, no swearing, please.
Sorry, yeah, no swearing. No, I just wanted to say, man.
Go on.
I just wanted to say, like, I understand why you're disappointed about the turnout and that. And so I was there, I turned up. I thought it was a big protest.
Exactly.
It didn't turn out to be a big protest. It was mainly all the people on the left. It was all the unions. It was the communists. It was all the people believing in all the kind of rubbish, you know, the left versus right, the blue versus red. And unfortunately, there was only about 50 of us that turned up, freedom fighters, actually talking about real issues. So I understand, man. I was disappointed as well. And the official voice that organised it, they didn't organise it very well. But most people, even if you got before, we showed up. They weren't sure where we were meeting, what was going on, what time it was happening. So I just got to say, a big respect for people that did show up, make an effort, you know. But yeah, I get why you're disappointed, and I think the whole idea of a silent protest is not the right way, you know. Standing there, not saying anything, just wearing a mask is not making an impact. But at the same time, you had train strikes all day, and it wasn't publicised well. You got different groups organising these things, and that was just one group, and they didn't organise it well. But to say the freedom movement is a waste of time, I have to disagree with that, man. You know, there's this little protest going on all over the country, but I agree with you, we need to organise more.
Okay. You disagree with me that the freedom fighters, like, protesting with them is not a waste of time. So you're saying that it's constructive. Yeah, that's what you're saying. That it makes sense to be with them, man. And then when you compare all the other people that are protesting peace, when you compare them, like the Just Oil people, you get me? They're not even trying to get clout, you know. Remember that they're not trying to do anything on social media too tough. Their men are getting in mainstream media every single day because they're doing some things that are disrupting, they're basically stopping London from happening because they want to prove a point. Are we doing that? Are we doing that?
I disagree. I think the reason they're getting in the mainstream media is because the mainstream media wants to talk about them. So, right, let me give you an example. So, if you took about 20,000 people that day who were not freedom fighters or protesting, there was probably about 100 policemen on them all day, yeah? And then we had about 50 of us, and we had about the same number of police following us around all day. So what does that tell you? Who's the real threat to Babylon?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's equal, innit? You just said it's equal. We had 100 people, 100 police officers on us and 100 police officers on them. So technically, like, it is equal. Our one is not as organized as their one. Their one is like, it's more political. They've got people that are backing them. They've got billionaires like George Soros and all these kind of people that are giving them the funds to do all of that stuff. Our one is just grassroots. There's no one per se that is donating to our cause and saying, you get me, like, to stop whatever's going on. You know what I mean? But they have funds, like all these other big organized protests. They are getting sponsored by someone.
I agree with you, man. I say, when you say it doesn't make the news, right? When we had 100,000 freedom fighters on the street, definitely made the news as well, you know.
No. There is times where we've made the news still, like the ones on the weekday ones when we went to Google and like all those ones.
Yeah.
Those ones.
Yeah, we made the news for the wrong reasons because they chose to victimize us and make us see bad. Like, whenever they want to put us in a bad light, they'll make us on the news.
But they do that to the Just Oil people too. They say that, you get me, like they're even saying they've put laws now that the police can now just stop protests straight away. Like, you can go jail or whatever if you
exactly.
to trying to do like
these so-called protesters who are just stop oil, right? It's very coincidental that they have the same agenda as the government. You know, like Rishi Sunak went to Egypt and he gave away like almost £1 trillion of government money. So you got a guy who represents the banks who wasn't voted in, just giving £1 trillion worth of your money away, right? And then that's the same week as all these just oil people are protesting. It's funny that, isn't it? These are taking away from the money for the poor people in the UK that are struggling right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I'm not arguing with you with that one. Yeah, that's 100%. Like, that's what they've been saying. They're giving the money in Egypt. And these people are saying, yeah, that you've affected us with climate change. We need that compensation. You know what I mean? We don't even have money like that. I don't even know how that £1 trillion came. Where did that come from? Where's the money for that?
Exactly. Exactly. I got to the point now where I just think they're trying to print so much money that eventually they say, look, we've got no more money left. We've got to call in a new type of currency, you know. So I think they're almost trying to waste their money now at this point. It's just weird. I don't know where this money's come from. Because apparently we're all broke, right?
Exactly.
So why is this new guy coming in and spending all his money? That's what I'm saying.
And also to add on that one, ain't he the guy that made us broke?
Well, yeah. He's the one that he was in government when they made us prisoners in our own homes. You know, and suddenly said, "Oh, we're going to pay everyone 80% of their wages to sit at home and do nothing."
Exactly, and we trust this guy.
So it's funny that the person that makes the problem comes into the solution.
Well, it's all orchestrated, isn't it? Like, that's how we look at it as freedom fighters. But yeah, okay. Just to like to wrap this up, yeah. What do you think we need to do better? Like, I'm not saying I don't want to be protesting and that, but I want to do, like, there's a lot of people, that have been put off the protesting or the freedom fighting because they don't see it as effective, or they've got what they wanted and now they're cool. You know what I mean? But what do we need, let's say, to be in the top rank in let's say protesting and making a movement? You get me? Because we're nowhere near in the top of the league, in terms of all of this. We're like at the bottom.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, 100%. We're at the bottom. Like BLM, Black Lives Matter, are above us. Just Oil's above us. Like, all these other people are way above us, and we're at the bottom.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. I think the main issue is all these other groups, they have a simplified message, And when all the lockdowns are happening and all the tyranny was happening at its height last year with the COVID stuff, the freedom fighters had a very simple message, no jabs, no lockdown. But now, because things are a little more complicated, people are kind of going back to normal a little bit. People have kind of forgotten, and we haven't got a simplified message. So too many freedom fighters have got so many different things to say, but we haven't really got a clear message anymore. So I think we need to work out what is our clear message, what is our priority, and focus on that, before we go out on the streets.
You see now, that's an answer that we need. Like, you get me? Like, okay, and also we got too many subgroups in our movement. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just one. Like with all the other movements, it's just one. With our one, it's like you got official voice, you got outreach society, you've got Fiona, what she's doing, you've got Piers Corbin, what he's doing. You know what I mean? There's just too many division in our movement where it's just one common goal with all the other ones, which causes the problem as well.
Yeah, I agree. It's difficult because, as I was saying, man, it's easy to criticize, and I've been frustrated before, and that's why a lot of people aren't showing up. But we need to simplify our message somehow.
You get me? Like, look at your friends. When was the last time that guy came?
Oh yeah, some of my friends, man. I haven't seen some of my friends at a protest in a long time.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. People are warriors right now. People want to sit at home and they want to share stuff on Telegram. They want to share stuff on Instagram. They want to protest online. What's that actually doing? You know, I know a lot of people say stuff doesn't change when you get out on the street. But if you look at any revolution in history, they happen to people out on the street. So when you say protesting doesn't matter, it does matter. You get the attention. You don't realise, you know. So we're better than sitting at home typing on your keyboard, you know. That's all I've got to say. I just take my call, Papa.
All right, bro. No worries, bro. Love for that, man. You take care now. Peace. One. All right. That was Sam. Yeah, I appreciate someone else's friend, buddy. Love for that. Cool. Giving us some inspiration, guidance, and some solution. So what he said, but we just need to have a common goal. We just need to have basically an objective. What is our objective? We don't really have an objective. You get me? All these people that, you know, are the so-called leaders of, you know, the divisions of the movements. They don't have really a common objective. Like, some people are still focusing like what's happened in the lockdown era, pandemic era. Like, we're fully out of that. Like, man, if man don't want to go to NHS or go to the pharmacy and take their medical, whatever, you get me? Like, that's their choice, innit? You get me? Like, them men are part of Babylon. Like, you cannot revert them. That's what we're saying. They have to revert themselves. You get it? Like, we've moved from that. Like, we're in a different time now. Like, we're in a time where things are getting peak. Like, we need to be talking about what is current, what everybody is feeling right now. And no one is feeling that social credit system, because it's like, no one believes it until they see it. What people see right now is gas going up, electricity going up, a rubbish government that is not doing their job. What else? Corruption on the whole planet. These are the things that we need to be focused on. Now, I spoke to my dad about this, and he's like, you better reference Peter Tosh, you know. You better reference him, because Peter Tosh said a lot of people want to go to heaven but are afraid to die. Bruv, how can you be wanting to go heaven and you're afraid to die? You get me? This is Peter Tosh, you get me? Like, the timeless wisdom. And what does that mean? That means it's the same thing what's going on right now. People are screaming that they want revolution, that they want freedom and all of that, but they're not ready to die for their freedom. They're not ready to die for the revolution. You follow that? Now, I'm not invoking that. I'm not provoking it. I'm just telling it how it is. You get me? When High Priest Amun has gone to other countries and seen, you know, people's human rights being taken away from them, and when they're saying it's revolution time, it's freedom time, it's all of that time, it's do or die. In the track Revolution, you hear it. When I step outside, it's do or die. I'm a revolutionary guy. I'm ready to ride. You get me? Like, this is coming from experience from other countries, that it's do or die, freedom or revolution. It's not a thing where you just play around with it. You need to be serious and make sure that when you're going to this protest, that you're ready for some action. Because, like I said, I've spoken to a lot of friends, and they're like, they don't do the protesting because it's just a waste of time. It's just walking around, just talking. It's a chatting thing. Like man, them are ready when it's for the revolution. And the problem is on that day, on that Saturday, High Priest Amun thought it was gonna kick off. Seriously, like man postponed his holiday because he thought it was gonna kick off on that Saturday. He made sure that he was present, and nothing happened. You get me? Nothing happened. And like what we said, it's just a waste of time, and everybody's just like had enough. It's like we're fed up. So I'm not gonna go too hard on these freedom fighters. Like we kind of got our conclusion, what we need to do, and what we need to do, like what we said, we need to just be more organized, have one common objective for everybody. I believe the common objective that we need is just take back our country. It's that simple. Take back your country, man. You get me? If you just say that, that's the objective. But when we're on the streets, that's what we're preaching, or that's what we're saying on the road. Take back your country. Take back your human rights. Or you get me? Like end this greedy government. It's simple. It's simple things. It's not too complicated. It's just okay. Everybody can relate to that. People are this greedy government stealing people's money, want to raise tax high, all of that, electricity, energy, things are not what they used to be. You get me? I was thinking about it. I was like, tomorrow I probably might do the street performing thing before I go on holiday. And I was thinking, like, back in the day, well, before I was born, the man them will tell them, man, that you can be renting a house for like £1 a week and that back in the day. Is that true? Spiritual dub doctor. Okay, he's zoned out. He's zoned out at the moment. By the way, he's there. Yeah, he's gonna come on later on, probably cover for me as well next week. Anyway, let's see, Kaz. I got next door's kids here and they won't be able to hear. The 5th of November was the perfect time to play the music. I come from the furthest point in Kent to everyone so that everyone else's excuses. Yes, Queen, we know that you're coming from the furthest part of Kent. You're coming from the sea and the sea, Herne Bay and that. That's proper far. You know what I mean? But like what we're saying is we just need to make sure that we have we protest that resonates with the people then. You follow that. If it's not resonating with the people, then why are you on the streets? It's a waste of time, waste of energy, waste of money, waste of effort. You need to resonate with the people then. If you want people to join your protest or your organization and that, you need people to resonate with you. If they cannot feel you, your energy, if they cannot feel what's going on, they're not going to participate. You follow that? How are you gonna convert someone, yeah, to join your campaign and they're not feeling it? It doesn't relate to them. It's not relative to them. It's not relevant to them. You follow that? So with that one, I think I can put that to rest unless someone wants to call in and say something. 0753 996 8143. Now, what's the next one we could talk about? So now let's talk about the black issue now. Yeah? No. Before we talk about that, so I just wanted to finish it off. So the conclusion is we need something to resonate with the people them on the road, on the streets, that they can relate to. Back in the day, when we were in lockdown, people can resonate because people were sick and tired of being in lockdown, being in jail in their house and couldn't come out, losing money because of lockdown, all of that kind of stuff. So that's when people started coming out because people had enough and everybody could relate to what was going on. But right now, no one can really relate to the freedom fighters because it's kind of like it's too niche, you can say, like conspiracy theorists. You get me? Some people are not on that level to overstand that. You got to break it down. You got to give them it like it's kindergarten or nursery. You cannot blow a man's head off and say, we're coming in the social credit system, cashless society. Man, them already know it's cashless society and are happy because it's cashless society. You cannot say, don't you want cash? When people feel comfortable paying with their credit card or with their phone or with their watch. You get me? So that's not gonna work. You got to come at something that hits home. Anyway, so let's move on to our problems as black people now and our protesting. You see now, when it comes to our protesting, our protesting is on a joke thing, especially my generation. Your generation, like Lady M, Spiritual Doctor, all the like uncle, all those people, those baby boomer generation. Yeah, I think baby boomer and possibly D-Generation X as well. Or Generation X, I mean Generation X. Yeah, your generation now. Like when it was protesting, it meant something. When brothers and sisters died on road, by police and racist attack and that kind of stuff. You man, like it was peak. Like if that happened, it was peak. Like the police didn't even want, like it didn't really occur like that too tough. Like it was more like by accident. Well, not by accident, it was more like they just wanted to test the waters. And then it was like, no, it's long. Like these black people are serious, like they're not playing. Yeah, I'm talking about the Generation X and the baby boomer generation when you guys had it tough. But my generation now, like the Generation Z and the millennials, it's like we're a bunch of cowards when it comes to the protesting. Like we're not 30. Like look what happened to all these fallen soldiers by the police. Police are killing brothers legally as well and getting away with it too. You get me? No jungle justice, no justice. You get me? We're in a time where we've got black police officers pretending that they're white. You got black lawyers pretending that they're white and don't want to solve black issues, black problems. You follow that? And it's like, this is the time where we have so much opportunity as millennials and Generation Z, because you baby boomers and Generation X, you didn't have those opportunities that we had. You had racial, institutionalized and systematic racism at its highest point. Now, my generation, you can't have that. Like, it's by law, they have to have at least, let's say, 5% ethnic minority or black person or whatever in a company. Like any government industry or government thingy bob or public sector job, minimum you need at least 5%, 5 to 10% black people in there. You get me? By law. Okay? And what are those black people doing? F4. You get me? No change is happening. It's just a selfish thing. Now, we got Lady M that's been campaigning for almost over 30 years, you know. Get me? Doing the radio for over 30 years, even teaching High Priest Amun to do the radio thing. You get me? And she's quit because she's had enough. Now, Fish 6666666. Yeah, shout out to you. Yeah, love for that comment. You get me? Like, she's fed up. High Priest someone else been fed up too. Like, we're just on radio literally because we're just there, innit? We're just there because we're just doing our duty. That's it. Like, it's just a business thing, to be honest. You get me? There's no, it's not a compassionate thing. It's just, man is here to give you the news, give you the meta science and cut and bounce. You get me? It's nothing. There's no emotional or compassion, none of that. You get me? It's just Because I know how black people are. They're just listening but not taking action, not applying it to their life. Let's see. Okay. Kaz is not really saying anything. Okay, cool. Yeah, so what we're saying is it's like our issues are not being resolved because we're not die hard when it comes to our protests. Like we're seeing our brothers and sisters getting molested, victimized, brutalized. Look what happened to Child Q. Has any justice happened for Child Q? No. Has any justice for Chris Carter happened? No. Did any justice for the only one that I can say that had justice and it was jungle justice was Mark Duggan. That was the only person that kind of got a little bit of justice just by jungle justice. You get me? But that was it. You get me? I didn't see no policeman go jail for what he did, killing my man. And it's like, it's sad because like what we said in the beginning of the show, that protesting does work. If it's done correctly, it will work. You will get your justice. You will meet your objective. You will complete your objective. But right now, as black people, we are not completing no objective. You get me? Look at the reparations march, because that's a protest. Have we got our reparations yet? Nope. Some men are saying, oh, there's a rim rush. There's reparations for rim rush or compensation for rim rush. Really? Are you sure? Or are you just telling lies? Boy, that's a big money, you know. You can imagine, like, there's minimum at least 1 million people, 1 million black people here, or 2 million, 5 million black people. Let's keep it 100. Let's say 5 million black people in UK. And you're saying people are getting minimum £100,000. Yeah? So that's like technically almost like £5 billion they've got for black people right now. That's what people are saying. Anyway, forget about that because that's going off subject. What we're saying is the reason why our protests and our stuff don't happen because of, like Peter Tosh said, there's too many people that want to go heaven, want revolution, want freedom, but are not ready to die for their freedom, die for their revolution, die for whatever they believe in. People are half-hearted with this thing. And, you know, High Priest Amun has come to the conclusion, yeah, but there's no point of me running around and protesting with people, bruv. Like, if I'm going to do a protest, I might as well just do it by myself because at least I know what I'm doing. You get me? I know my goal and my objective. My objective is to deliver the METASCIENCE and receive donations by delivering the METASCIENCE. You follow that? Simple objective. And it works. More time when I go campaigning by myself, it's more effective than when I'm with a bunch of people, because not everybody is on the same speed as High Priest Amun El, the same consciousness, same awareness, same meditation, same frequency. You follow that? And as a result, there will be a clash because we're not on the same frequency and the same meditation. And you know, like what we're saying, it's just, you know, a joke thing. So, like I said, I hope the people then who've listened tonight have acknowledged and listened and absorbed everything what High Priest Amun El was saying, because no one, again, has challenged what we've said. People have said something, you get me, and we've come to a solution or resolution to what's been said. But yeah, like, we just need to step up. Like, we're not as effective as others. Like Extinction Rebellion, even they're not in the top spot at the moment. Like, the people that are doing the most is that Just Oil people. Just Stop Oil. Them men are the ones that are doing the most chaos and confusion around the planet. You get me? I'm not saying they ain't funded. They are funded. They've got, you get me? They got sponsors that are funding their thing. You know what I mean? But that's what that's what people in our movement are supposed to be doing, finding sponsors to sponsor us to get certain things done. You get me? Like, when you're campaigning and that, You need to be getting sponsored. That's why High Priest Amun El said when he does it by himself, it's more effective because he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's spreading the word of METASCIENCE and also getting donations and getting sponsored while he's doing it, while he's protesting. But with our freedom fighters or our black people, maybe the black people are getting sponsored, but then they're just being corrupt and taking all the money and not even sharing it out. You follow that? Because I know that it's like our thing is just an inside job. When it comes to the black people protesting, it's the people at the top that are corrupt and are shady. You follow that? And stealing the blessings from the protest for themselves. And this is why people don't want to protest anymore with black people. Now with the freedom fighters, it's just that it's an ego thing. Everybody wants to be the savior in the subgroups, and the subgroups don't want to come together. It's all separate protests and that. If it's like a official voice protest, you won't see outreach people come out or Piers Corbyn come out with his gang. You get me? It's just who everybody want to be the savior. You get me? And don't want to work together in the freedom thing. Anyway, 1 minute left. Let's go to prayer. We give thanks and praises to Atum Ray, Amun Ray, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, El Elyon, El Shaddai, Yahweh, Adonai, Marduk, Melchizedek, Al Qadir, Usa, Use, Eru, Anu, Enki, Ma'at, Pita, Rastafari, Haile Selassie, METASCIENCE, to mommy, to daddy, to granny, to granddad, to the ancestors, and to the Most High. Bismillahi ar-Rahmani ar-Rahim. La ilaha illallah. We give thanks and praises to the Most High for protecting us and guiding us and also being our shield from the evil and wickedness in the world. We also give thanks and praises to the Most High for giving us blessings and giving blessings to others in our world. And lastly, we give thanks and praises to the Most High for protecting us and guiding us and also being a shield as we walk the path of heaven so we can reach Zion. Amen. I'm on a shield.
Media range 104.5.
So that's it. I put someone else out of here. Thank you.
Around your community.
I'm here. Take care. Show done. METASCIENCE.
10.